Hello everyone! In this video we will set up lights from scratch inside of 3ds Max and Corona Render. And for this lesson I've prepared this scene, so let's start. Before you even start setting up the lights, you should always think what type of mood or vibe you want your image to have. Do you want it to be sunny, cold, or maybe neutral? In my scenario, I wanted to have a neutral cloudy environment outside and a very warm, cozy feeling inside of my interior. And I plan to have 4 light sources in total. The first one is neutral light environment outside coming from the windows. Then I wanted to have a warm pendant lights above the table, a little bit of warm light in the floor lamp on the left side, and add a table lamp to complement the rest of the lighting. Now let's open the render setup, go to Scene tab, turn on Material Override and select the basic Corona physical material. This will make all the objects have a basic gray material. Then let's click Preserve and select Opacity, Light and Glass materials. This means that all the opacity, light and glass materials will not be overwritten. And let's also select our lampshade and exclude it from Material Override because it has a translucent material applied to it, and translucency material means that it will let the light pass through it. Now we are ready to set up our lights. If we press render right away, you will see that there is only a black screen. That's because we don't have any lights yet. Let's start by adding an HDRI map to our environment. You can find HDRI maps on the internet. I downloaded mine from Polyheaven. It's a free map that looks like this, just a cloudy neutral sky. To upload the map into our environment, I open Render Settings, go to Scene Environment and choose Single Map. Select Corona Bitmap and choose our downloaded HDRI map. Now we can drag our map into our Material Slate editor. This will let us have a full control of our map. Later we can rotate it and change the angle of the light if we need to. But for now, let's press render and see how our scene looks like with this environment light. We can see it's pretty dark now, but we can fix it just by increasing the exposure value. Something like 3 or 4 maybe. Okay, 4 looks perfect. I'm very happy with how this looks now, and it's very neutral and looks like it's very cloudy outside. We can now create a pendant lights. Let's select our pendant lights and hide everything else. Now let's go to Create Lights, Corona and Corona Light. Let's go to Shape and select the Sphere option. Now let's create a sphere light and adjust it properly. Go to Modify and let me explain you some parameters. So intensity usually stays on default, but I prefer to use lumen. And the standard light bulbs are usually somewhat between 800 to 2000 lumen. So for this light I will set 1500 lumen. Then for the temperature we will use 3200 kelvins. The lower the value is, the warmer is the temperature. The shape we've already set to sphere. And visibility speaks to itself here. I don't really think I need to explain it. I will just turn off visible directly and visible in reflections because I don't want to see it. Now let's copy this light as an instance, so whenever I do some changes on one of them, the other is affected too. Let's unhide everything and press render to see how it looks. I really like it, but I want to drop more lights on the chairs and around it. For that I will use IES file. IES is basically a pattern of the light. If I press it, I can select the pattern that I want, and that will spread the light even better. Now I like it much more. By the way, you can download this scene for free in my Patreon account, where I also uploaded scene creation time-lapse of this project. You can find the link in the video description. Now let's select our floor lamp and let's hide everything else. I will create the light with the same logic here. Select Corona Light and adjust it. Make sure I place it inside the light bulb. I will just change the temperature slightly to something like 3000 Kelvin. And slightly adjust the size. Now let's render the image again and see how it looks. Again, I'm pretty happy with the results, all looks good, and if I want to change something I can do it later in Light Mix. Now for the table lamp, I want to have a little bit different approach. Instead of using Corona Light sphere, I will use Corona Light material. Let's open our material slate editor and let's create a Corona Light material. Let's increase the intensity to the value of 2. And we could just change the color to something warmer, but instead I want to make it a bit more interesting. I will create a gradient map with the top and bottom being very warm and middle being more white. Then I will plug this texture in our color, and this will make the light appear more interesting. Now let's see how it looks. It's not very noticeable, but I still like these details. Now it's time we set up our light mix. First, let's make sure all lights are named properly. Then we can go to render setup and press setup light mix. And then we can separate light mix layers by different options. In my case, it will be instances lights. That means all my instance lights will be placed in the same layer. Let's press render again and see what we have. Now we have a full control of all of our lights in the scene. We can turn them on and off, change the intensity, and adjust the color if needed. All I have to do now is turn off material override and see how everything looks together. And now we can do some final adjustments. I think I just want to increase my environment light just by a little bit. I really like the way the image looks, and I will just leave it to render and then export as a PNG. Now this is my rendered image. I will do some adjustments in Photoshop. I will duplicate the layer, then open Camera Raw filter. Here I will adjust exposure, contrast, highlights and shadows. Adjust values for texture, clarity and dehaze, and will also add some vignette. Now this is how the image looks after adjustments. All I have to do is just add a background image and adjust its brightness. And this is the final result. I hope you liked this video and it was very informative for you. If you want me to make more videos like this, please like and subscribe.